Hello and welcome back to my channel and Happy New Year. So this video I think is going to be a little bit more focused on my New Year's resolution, something that I've already been working on and something that I'm going to be continuing into 2021. And that is how I've been building confidence around my body image. And so there's three things that I've realized that are very important for me in this process. And the first and foremost is being honest with myself, realizing what isn't working and realizing that I need to make a change, and being also flexible enough to make that change and adapting. I think that's something that I also realized in 2020, that I need to be more flexible and be able to adapt to changing environments and changing situations. And the third most important thing I would say is being compassionate with yourself. Again, with coronavirus, there's so many things that are happening that are not in our control, and sometimes these things really suck, and you have to be compassionate with yourself when you're working through these hard times and these hard situations. Now, how have I been doing this? And I'm realizing that I need to focus on things that I can immediately remediate. Also important is trying not to fixate or ruminate on things that I can't change, or trying things that I've done over and over again and consistently haven't been able to accomplish, and trying to be like, okay, I tried this, it didn't work, I have to stop trying it over and over again. Let me try it a different way. Let me try something else and see if that'll work. I think it's really important to also confront the main issue with your body image. Like, what is the big thing that's really bothering you? And for me, my biggest body image issue is my attire and my clothing, and not really having a super defining personal style. I think that's something that really bothered me, because I always feel like I don't really know what my style is. I'm not really sure what I should be wearing, what I should be picking, how to match my outfits a specific way, what I'm really going for. I found that I have a lot of indecision issues with my outfits, my hairdos, my makeup, because I've in the past been really unsure with what actually I want to do with myself and how I want to appear to other people. And the way that I've been recently dealing with that is focusing on the things that I have, focusing on the clothing that I have in the moment. Because I think it's a real crux to say, oh, if I just get this one new thing, it'll like completely fix my wardrobe, or I just have crappy clothing and that's my problem. And I think it's important to focus on what you have, because you bought yourself for a reason. You at one time liked it and that's why you purchased it, or at least you should like what you're purchasing. Another big thing is understanding that all my clothing should really fit me and be comfortable, regardless if it's PJs, and honestly, especially if it's PJs. I've always had this idea that if I bought something, I should just keep it because it's wasteful to get rid of it. I bought it, I should wear it, and even if I don't like it outside, I'll force myself to wear it like as a pajama and be like, oh, it's pajamas, it's fine. But in reality, like, I just feel bad about myself wearing this thing that I don't think it's flattering or isn't super comfortable, and I'm wearing it around the house. And it's really weird, because why am I forcing myself to wear this thing that I don't like, that's not bringing me joy? It's not really serving me well. Also, now that I'm working from home, as I'm sure many of you in 2020 have been, and now going to 2021 are going to be doing, I tend to go out a lot in my pajamas just because I'm at home a lot. So if I have to go run out to do laundry, I'm usually going down in my pajamas, or if I'm picking up my mail, which I have a lot of stuff delivered to me now, so I'm picking up a lot of stuff downstairs. I'm running out in my pajamas, and I really hate being caught in my ugly pajamas, or things that make me feel uncomfortable or make me feel bad about myself. And I'm realizing, no, you don't have to force yourself to wear things as pajamas because you don't like them. You can get rid of them, or you can donate them if you don't want to feel wasteful. That's what I've been doing a lot. I've been donating a lot of my things, or if they're nice things that I just don't like, that I don't feel like are flattering me, I'll give them to my sisters. I give everything to my sisters that I don't think looks good on me. And sometimes I look at them and I'm like, wow, they look amazing on that item and it's really serving them. And I'm glad I gave it to them, as opposed to just having it sit around in my wardrobe or in my dressers or in my makeup box. Something that's really helped me with this is I've stopped blaming myself for things that don't look good on me. I used to always say, oh my God, it's my fault. I need to lose like 20 pounds or whatever. I realized I'm not going to look good in everything, and that's fine. Certain pieces of clothing aren't made for every single body type and every single person, and that's completely okay. There's a lot of things that don't look good on me, but then look great on my sisters, and I'm happy about that. That's fine. Not everything is going to compliment me, but that's not my fault and my body's fault. It's okay if a certain piece of clothing doesn't fit me or look great on me. Great. On to the next one. So in realizing that I'm having such a struggle with my clothing, and I have so much clothing and everything just feels really stressful, I really had to think about, well, what would make me feel better about my clothing situation, and how should I even go about tackling it? And I tend to be a very OCD person. I like when things are really organized, and I like organizing things, and that just makes me feel a lot more at peace with everything. So I decided I'm going to organize all of my things. So Marie Kondo style, I went through every single article of clothing that I owned and it took me approximately 6 hours to go through every single thing, and it was a very sweaty and exhausting endeavor. My feet were killing me by the end of it. It was also really helpful to see how much stuff I really had. I feel like a lot of the times you can feel like, oh, I don't have enough clothing, or I don't have enough of this, I don't have this is what's missing, I just need to buy more of this and it'll fix my problem. But for me, I think I realized I have a lot of stuff, and that's actually my problem, is I have too much stuff, and that's contributing to my indecision, which I just have a lot of in general. Now, I try on my clothing a lot and get rid of a lot of things, and I do this often, but I'm realizing my process wasn't working, so I switched up my process. And what I did recently was I tried on the things that fit me, things that made me feel confident, things that made me feel good about myself first. I realized I always try on the things that don't fit me first, just to see if they do fit me this time. And I start off already feeling kind of iffy or weird. So this time I started off with trying on the things that made me feel good about myself first. So I had a baseline that I can compare the other things to them. And it really helped move the process along a little faster as well, because I was trying on the things that looked good. And then when I would try something else on that I wasn't really sure about, I knew like automatically, oh, this doesn't fit me as nicely as the last pair of pants did. So I know this is comfortable, I should aim for this kind of fit. And if these aren't comfortable, I should stop holding on to them for no reason. Once I was able to identify the things that were easy, things that I knew were great, that matched other stuff that I have, things that were complementary to me and my wardrobe itself, I just put those things back and I was like, great, this is what I know for sure I'm keeping. Easy peasy, done. That's going straight back to the closet or into my dressers. I think the struggle was figuring out what to do with the rest of it. So I basically separated all my clothing into several different piles of things so that I can organize where things should go, just so that they're not randomly in storage. Because that's another thing, that when I go through my storage, it's so cluttered, and visually that's just hard. And that makes me not want to go through it because there's just so much and it feels so daunting. So I think organizing my clothing that had to go into storage into very specific piles also really helped me to identify what was what and where did things really need to go. Another big thing I realized was I needed to separate my seasonal clothing from clothing that's in my regular rotation. So I always have seasonal clothing, things like heavier sweaters and things like shorts that I'm going to be wearing for at least 6 months of the year, and that I'm not going to be wearing for 6 months of the year. So I did separate my closet into things that I'm wearing regularly, and then I gave myself a dresser for things that I'm not wearing all the time. One, it helps with the indecision, and two, it takes away some of the clutter. And if I'm cold and I'm looking for a sweater, I now know where to look. So it makes it a little bit easier to go through my clothing. And it also helps me know, like if I'm putting things away in storage because they're seasonal, it's not like something I have to go through in 6 months and say, oh, does this fit me? Or is this something that I want to keep? Of course I want to keep my shorts that fit me well because that's something I'm going to be wearing. I'm just not wearing them now. So that also helps to keep things organized, something that makes me feel better. Another big thing that I had to organize, and something that I've had a hard time with my whole life, is separating out the sentimental items. Sentimental items for me are very difficult because I have a lot of great memories from high school, things that I know I'm never going to get rid of. And then I had a lot of other things that I also felt like I had some sort of sentimental value to. And then when I put them all in one pile together, I was able to say, oh, I know for sure any of like my hoodies from high school or college or from like an event that I really enjoyed, I'm definitely keeping those. And then other things where it's like, oh, this is a cute blouse, but like, I'm not wearing it, doesn't really fit me, I don't have any intention of trying to fit into it later, and even if I could fit into it later, like, do I really want to wear this if I were to be able to fit into it? Not really. I'm just holding on to it for the sake of holding on to it. I don't need to do that. And when I can see the pile of sentimental things, I'm able to prioritize certain things over others, and that in and of itself was very helpful. And then another pile, which I know all of you can relate to, is the goal pile. Now, I put my goal pile somewhere that is very easily accessible because I need to go into this goal pile at least every 3 to 6 months and try it on again, because a goal pile is just that. Something you have a goal of wearing at some point in the realistic future that will realistically fit onto you again. I realize it doesn't make sense to have a random amount of clothing with no actual goal that I may or may not fit into at some random point in the future, and it doesn't really correlate to a realistic weight loss goal. Like if I need to lose 40 pounds to wear something, am I ever going to lose 40 pounds? That's not something I'm actively trying to do, nor do I feel like I should even do to be at a healthy weight. Therefore, why am I holding on to this thing that's not going to fit me unless I lose 40 pounds, which is insane. And after going through all my things and sorting them into these different piles, I was able to be honest with myself and see, okay, these things I really do want to keep, and it's okay to keep them, and I have the space to keep them, so it's okay to do that. And other things that I don't want to keep, I'm much more realistic about, hey, I don't have that much space. There's no reason to keep all these other things that aren't really a priority for me, or things that I really like that I'm know I for sure want to wear. However, that leaves me with another category of clothing. Things that I really like, things that fit me, they look super great on me, they're complimentary. However, I don't wear them often. And for me, I had to be really honest, like, why am I not wearing this that much if it's super cute? And a lot of the time it's because it doesn't match anything else in my wardrobe. I have a big problem with that because I love floral patterns, I love bright, bold things. I also wear a lot of black. So I have to ask myself, why am I not wearing this? And it's usually because it doesn't match anything else in my wardrobe. And so as I'm trying all these things on, the big thing I'll tell myself is, hey, right now, take that article of clothing and see if you can match it with something else right now, because this is the time to match things. You have the time. You literally made the time to go through your clothing. You have the energy. You have all your clothes out in front of you. And if you can't make things match and work while you have the time to do it, there is no way you're going to do it while you're running late to work or to school or to a doctor's appointment in the morning. That's not going to happen. So I realized if it's cute, it fits me and it's amazing, but it doesn't match anything, is it really going to work in my wardrobe? Now I have a couple of things where I had this one cardigan. It was really cute, had a really good pattern to it, but it doesn't match anything in my wardrobe. So I realized, like, you know what? It would match cute white blouses. I don't have a lot of white blouses because I tend to wear a lot of black, but that's an easy fix. I just went and bought 2 white blouses. And again, white blouses will match other things in my wardrobe. They'll match my other cardigans. So it was worth it to buy those things. And those were a mindful purchase. So I was able to make that cardigan work without changing my whole wardrobe. Not only did I make it work, I realized, like, oh, this is how I should mindfully shop. Shop with things that I actually need that'll work in my wardrobe and that'll benefit me later in the future, as opposed to just buying things randomly that don't match anything. Once I really organized my wardrobe and I was able to look at things that I really liked, things that fit me well, things that were comfortable, things that matched other things, I was able to identify an actual set of style choices. And I think that I realized you don't have to have a very specific style, even though that's something I thought I should have. I realized I don't have a very specific style, but I do have a lot of similar style choices. And now that I really understand my mindset around style choices that I like, things that work for me, when I go shopping, I can be very mindful of my actual style choices, things that I have in my closet, things that I know I like and things that I know I will wear for a long amount of time. So they'll be worth it to buy and they'll fit me nicely. They'll make me feel good about myself and they'll build up my self-confidence as opposed to making me feel bad about myself or making me feel uncomfortable. Also, as somebody with anxiety, I realized having too much clothing can really contribute to your anxiety. Like just having the clutter of clothing that I know I'm not gonna wear, or I struggle with matching with other things, that causes me more anxiety, and that's something I know that I need to work on. And I also know it can be really anxiety inducing to not have clothing for certain events. So I realized if I know I'm gonna have 2 or 3 weddings in the summer, it's just beneficial to have a dress or 2 now as opposed to dreading it and then at that moment running around looking for a piece of clothing that I might not find, or like looking for something last minute for an interview. I realize it's important to have those things in your wardrobe so that you can have them for the future and you don't have to stress every single time an event like that comes up. I have approximately something like 3 to 5 really nice dresses that I have that I can mix and match for weddings or events where I just need to dress up a little bit and I don't have to stress when that event comes up. And also, if I have interviews, I learned it's really important to have nice white button downs, nice black trouser pants, and very importantly, blazers. In the past, I would keep a blazer and I would tell myself, oh, it's okay if I ever have an interview, I have a blazer, it's fine, I'm good. And then like a week or 2 before the interview, trying the blazer on and it doesn't really fit quite right. It's either too loose or too tight. And then I'm like, oh no, what do? Stretchy blazers. Buy yourself a flexible blazer so that if you lose a little bit of weight or you gain a little bit of weight, it still will fit you when the time comes for an interview. Because the truth is you don't need 100 blazers. You just need 1 or 2 good flexible blazers. In realizing that organizing my clothing was also really good for my anxiety, I also realized it was important to organize other things that also help me with my body image, such as my furniture, so that I can obviously better organize and put away my clothing and put away my makeup and put away things for my hair and put them in places where I'm actually seeing them, so I'm much more likely to utilize them. I have easier access, so when I do use them, I don't feel anxious looking for something in the morning, rushing for a hairbrush or a comb or scrunchies. I always have a lot of extra good new scrunchies. I also very regularly reorganize my purse and my makeup bag so that I have a lot of things that I'm utilizing regularly and not just reaching through random things that I know I'm not going to use. And I think it helps you to regularly go through your makeup bag so you're like, hey, I have this lipstick that I really love, but I haven't worn it in 6 months. Am I gonna wear it the next 6 months? Nope. then I just put it away, and then I go through my makeup over and over again, and I constantly feel good about what I have in my makeup bag because I know I am getting rid of the clutter stuff that I don't need to have in there. I'm really glad that I took the time to go through my things and really organize my stuff in a way that they serve me better in 2020, because I think that 2020 has been a really hard year for me, and I'm sure for many of you as well. And I think that 2021 is going to be a year where I try to simplify things for myself, and that's really my goal for the new year, is to have my material possessions serve me in a way that they help me build my confidence and feel better about myself, because I shouldn't have to stress every morning about what I'm going to wear, because that's not really an important part of your life, if I'm being honest with myself, but it is an important part of your confidence. And if you simplify your wardrobe every single day, it's a quick, simple decision to find what you want to wear. The rest of the day, you don't have to worry about feeling bad about yourself, and you can focus on things that are maybe more important, like focusing on school, or work, or social engagements with your family and your friends. I think these are things that are more important. I hope you guys found this video helpful, and I hope you enjoyed the content. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know your thoughts. And I hope you all have an amazing 2021.